So now we have from the project management software a start date and an end date for the whole project. Additionally, we have the start and end dates for every single activity. Not only that, but we also know the critical path. That is, those activities that, if any of them are completed late by even 1 day, the project itself will be late by that 1 day. Or a critical path activity late by 1 week, resulting in 1 week late for the project. Also very useful is the information calculated by the software being the slack times for each activity. That is the number of days we could delay that activity without affecting the end date for the project itself. Now, armed with start and end dates for each activity, we can calendarize the PERT network chart. We shift all circles to align with the calendar dates. On the example here, the start and finish circles first, and then the others in relation to their start dates. In our example here, activities 5 and 15 start on the 21st of the 3rd. So we shift that bubble to its correct horizontal position and see the months below. Excuse me. Also, because we now know the critical path, we can show this on the calendarized chart, the thicker lines being the usual way of showing this. Please note we do not generally reflect the slack times on the PERT chart. It's just too cumbersome, although not impossible. We rely on the software to give us this knowledge. By the way, it usually takes a day or less to calendarize your PERT chart and is untouchable as far as its ability to show progress like no other method. All planning has now finished. I have indicated this by the blue horizontal line in the middle of the page. The factory is really all the people who will work to produce the appropriate products at the appropriate times. They could be anywhere in the world. Microsoft project or similar project management software rules. The project manager is effectively the factory manager and now drives the production as dictated by the production schedule, and also reports on progress and costs incurred to date, as well as any risks or threats to the project. This illustrates the discipline needed to account for and keep track of each finished product. A couple of points. First, a product is not finished until an appropriate person says it is. He or she has verified the quality against the intended quality as originally defined in the product's register. The name of this quality control person also appears in the register, although the slide doesn't show it. Second, the approved product is filed somewhere or other, either electronic or filing cabinet or warehouse or anywhere, and that location is logged in the product's register, so that anybody who wants to have a look at the product can look at it, find information, check it, and so on. All very simple. The production of products for each activity costs money, obviously, and eats into the original budget set when the project was approved. Therefore, it's essential to manage the spend for each and every person engaged on project activities. This is not just for the factory, but also for the management and administration activities. Without this, there is no proper financial management or forecasting of potential threats. For every project report, the key questions to be asked and answered are: 1. will we be finished on time and within budget? And number 2, will we get exactly what we specified? And number 3, where are we now? And the first 2 are very clear, so just answer them for your project. And as for the third, by far the best way to inform the company about the project progress is visually, using the calendarized PERT, but color-coded to show delivery or lateness. Clearly, every activity leading to the circles to the left of the today line should have been finished. Looking at our example, notice that the delivered products are shown in green and the late products in red. Now, I will touch on one important aspect in our example of product 6 being late. And at the moment, we only know that product 6 was not delivered on time and that it will be delivered at a later date. The lateness of product 6 may squeeze the schedule for product 14, but needs to be finished by the 11th of the 5th. Otherwise, the whole project will be late. But if 14 is actually a small task with lots of slack, we will not have a problem. So knowing your slack times for each activity is vital to help you focus always on the highest priority threats to the timeline. I won't elaborate more, but I hope you can see what an incredibly useful tool a calendarized PERT chart is, not just for you, but for all interested parties. Now, I'm getting a bit off script here because I need to just briefly digress and bring to your attention a topic that sees little attention but is vitally important. I'm talking about horses for courses. I'm talking about matching skills to the task at hand. Planning skills are not the same as delivery skills. Planning skills are essentially having the ability and a liking for logic and delving into what appears to others as nitpicking pedantic detail, the very idea of which is often anathema to those who have risen in the ranks and now enjoy dealing with the big picture issues more often than not. A project manager is a senior member of staff and has a liking for the big picture in preference to the nuts and bolts details of yesteryear. He or she has moved on and is now a people person. Delivery skills very much need someone who is a people person, who can and likes to attend to the daily realities and fragility of humans producing products, whilst often fending off demands for their time from other quarters. So planning is more of a science and delivery is more of an art. Many corporations now recognise this, that people are appointed in terms of skill match, much like the factory workers. And we can increasingly see project managers and planners as separate roles in the mix. Well, up to this point, I think everything seems quite straightforward and even logical. Sure, there's lots to do, but no individual step seems a real problem. So what could possibly go wrong? Well, that's a good question. And we need to address this again at the high level. The answer to the question is quite a lot, really. And here we see that every area has its own special pitfalls, any one of which constitutes a risk to the successful delivery of the project. So let me briefly elaborate what is typically the situation on projects that fail, so you can avoid repeating such error. Number one, the business case. A senior manager wants to make a change to improve whatever. The business case is often general and a little unclear about the exact and complete goals, often exaggerates the benefits and minimizes the costs to get to the promised land, as it were, all resulting in what I call a sales document rather than a precise specification. This happens often. Also, a huge risk is introduced when the business that is supported and enabled by the IT software, obviously, abrogates its leadership obligations by claiming that this project is now an IT project, not a business project. Wash my hands of it and hand it over to the IC director. Job done, nice dodge. That happens. Does it? Boy, does that ever happen. Number 2, the WBS is seldom done despite the best of the best brains recommending it in both international standards. This can result in inaccurate costings and unreliable dates after the inevitable discovery of the extra work required after the project has started. Number 3 is seldom done despite the international standards. This creates a risk that the project management software is fed with incorrect information, producing unreliable dates for the project and its activities. It also removes the benefit of being able to clearly show progress during the course of the project. Number 4, usually done in part only. Seldom can all completed products be easily accessed by all the company. Almost never are the products independently quality assured. Number 5, the project management software is often populated without the benefit of a precision ABC information, thereby giving unreliable dates stemming from activities that have no successors. Loose ends, as I call them. Check your own project plan. You will find several loose ends. Guaranteed. And number 6. The project team resources doing the work are a mixture of your own team plus external consultants. Your team is already busy helping to run the company, and the consultants are also busy helping other organizations as well as your own. Quite a recipe for delays. If this sounds familiar, don't be surprised, this is a widespread problem. Number 7. Seldom succinctly answers the key question. Questions plural. Will we get what we specified? On time? Within budget? More often than not, it's a document telling the reader how busy we are, how well we're going, and what we've produced. It's not exactly a sales document, but it doesn't focus in or hone in onto the real issues. Now I have a question for you. Semi-rhetorical, because I'm going to answer it. And here it goes. How does a project get 6 months late? The answer, bit of a quip, bit of a joke, get 6 months late, 1 day at a time. The thing is, you didn't know when you were late, or you concealed it and you did not reveal it when it started to slip. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is human nature. But that's how it is. Those are the pitfalls to beware of. If you know about them, then it's very unlikely you're going to fall into the same trap. But you have to be aware every single day. Okay, folks, that's it. I hope you found this helpful. I know you will. And I just wish you well for your future. And we keep to the left for safety. We follow the rules for safety. Let's all start doing it now and make life so much easier for everybody, particularly yourself. Okay, take care. Bye.